I'm Susan, and I'm so glad that you're here with me. If it's evening time, that's great. If it's your morning, that's fine too, or maybe it's the middle of the day. Really, anytime. I just have said evening because we're going to be doing just a few restorative poses this evening, and so I hope that you'll join me on your mat. Now, I have on some comfy loungewear, so hopefully whatever you have on is comfortable for you. We're not going to be doing anything standing up. We're just going to be seated or lying down on our mat for our time together. Now, I have a couple towels with me because sometimes we can have tight hips when we're seated, and it can feel nice to have some support underneath our knees. So if you have any toss pillows on your couch or blankets, or maybe you want to hit pause and grab a couple of towels, that might feel comfortable for you. So I'll wait for you if you want to hit that pause button, and then be sure to come back. So I also have a glass of water. You don't have to have a glass of water, but this is just a reminder that you're going to want to stay hydrated. We're not going to really be drinking water throughout our practice, but it's a nice reminder that you want to keep yourself hydrated throughout the day. So hopefully you had some water. And then I have some flowers here. I got these flowers today when I went grocery shopping, and I often like to peruse the clearance bin at the grocery store, and they had these sunflowers. They were just in clearance, and there's a rose here and a little daisy, and I just brightened my day, so I just thought I would brighten yours too. And then I have my makeup bag. I want to read this quote to us just a little bit later during our time together. All right, so let's go ahead and find that comfy position on our mat. Now, sitting cross-legged could be the furthest thing that you would think would be comfortable. So that's why I suggested the prop of a towel, and that could give you just a little bit of relief and soften the area in your hip. So again, we're going to be holding some positions a little longer, some poses here, just to soften that connective tissue and muscle. And so we're going to be, like I said, holding these poses a little bit longer. So let me show you a couple variations of a seated posture. So this is called Sukhasana, or easy pose. But again, that doesn't mean that it's easy, because we all show up differently on our mat, and we can have very tight hips. So now when I sit with my knees bent and my legs going towards your right, now this would look like it's my left hip, but this is my right hip, and it's pretty tight. So for me, this isn't very comfortable. Now, if I put my knees going the opposite direction and my legs, to me this feels pretty comfortable. So this could be my seated posture. Or you might want to sit on your heels, and that might be something that feels good for you. One more option, because options are always nice to have, could be that your legs are extended with a soft bend, or you could have that towel or pillow just under your knees just to soften there. Okay, so again, let's find that comfortable seated position for yourself. So those were some of the options, and again, you always want to listen to your body. So let's just bring our hands either palms facing up, palms facing down. Hands could be resting in your lap, or you could have one up, one down, whatever. Again, there's no right or wrong. But let's just take a moment here, let the body settle. Maybe you close your eyes or have a soft gaze down at your mat. So we're just going to kind of let our body have some time for breath. So you journey through your day, and you never know what a day is going to bring. But we do know that our breath is there for us. So it can calm the body, it can calm the mind. And so let's take a few breaths here. We're going to let the muscles in our face just relax. Notice the belly expand, and on your exhale, notice it deflate. And if your palm is facing down on your knee, nothing wrong with that, but just make sure that you're not gripping. Just let your fingers be nice and relaxed. Your spine is supporting you, lifting you, but nothing's forced. We'll enjoy one more breath here. Then if your eyes are closed, go ahead, blink them open. Let's bring our arms down by our side. We'll make sure nothing is in the side of you, and let's inhale. We'll swoop the arms up overhead, and then we'll turn palms out and releasing our arms down by our side. If you have any props, let's go ahead and remove them, and we'll extend our legs out. And then we're going to do one leg at a time with a nice stretch. So let's start with our right leg extended, so it's going to come straight out of our hip. And then we'll have that bend in our left knee. So that left foot is going to be right in the inseam of your right leg. So we'll start with the twist here. We'll start over towards the right first. So let's take that left hand outside of your right knee with your palm facing out. And then your right hand will support behind. Maybe you make a tent with your fingertips. And then we're gonna kind of ring out the day. So we're going to turn from our torso, that rib cage, towards the right. Chin can stay nice and parallel. And again, we're gonna soften the knees, nothing's forced. One more breath here. Then let's bring the body forward, and we'll just take that same twist to the other side, still continuing with our bent knee. And we'll just ring out on this side. Maybe as you have had some breath and some length, it has allowed you to twist just a little bit more. And then let's bring our body back to center, and we'll straighten our leg. So we're gonna stretch through the hips, a nice stretch for our hamstring. And I'll show you two different views here. So we've got that soft bend in our knees, sit bones are rooted. And then we're just going to take the heart and come forward and soften. So it's just very slight. Now, if you're feeling a big pull in your hamstrings, right in through here, just pull back a little bit so that you're not forcing. So again, sit bones are rooted. And then I'm drawing my heart forward and then softening. So we don't want to round here because we're going to be doing our cow and cat, and that'll get a nice stretch for our back. So let's think about just leaning forward. And again, if this does not feel comfortable, just back off slightly. Or you could again find that bend in your knees and come slightly forward just to open up through the hips. So legs extended, soft bend in the knees, heart is coming forward. Chin is staying just parallel to the floor. And then let's go ahead and take that chin ever so slightly down, like we're looking diagonal right in between our big toes. And then let's come out of that and shake our thighs. So quite a stretch there. I mean, it's small but mighty. Definitely feeling it in the hamstring and throughout our hips. Okay. The next thing I want to do is going to be our cow and our cat. And since I've kind of been giving options, that'll be the theme here to give you a little bit more options. So you could take your hands onto your knees, palms facing down, and come into a seated cow and cat where we'll inhale and gaze up, and then exhale, we will hollow out the belly and tuck the chin. And that will be your cat. If you'd like to join me with your hands and knees on the mat, a couple of variations there would be you have your towel, so you could roll it out and make a nice pillow for your knees if you need that support. You could fold your mat. Now, I always like to say to fold your mat from towards the back area, because if we pull from the front, sometimes we lose some nice space for our hands to have that ability to still be on the mat. Okay. All right, now let's talk about our hands. We are not going to dump the weight into our wrists. We're going to have some nice space in between each finger. So let's have our hands have some nice space. We'll bring those to the mat, stacking our wrists under our shoulders, and then knees under your hips. Tops of the feet will be resting onto your mat. We'll tilt the belly down on an inhale. Smile, open your collarbones, gaze goes up. And then we will tuck the chin and send the back up towards the ceiling. So that's cat. And then inhale, tilt the belly, and exhale. So uniting that breath and body movement, that is the definition of yoga, a union, breath and body. So we inhale, tilt the belly down, gaze goes up, weight off of the wrist, and then lifting the back up, tucking the chin. One more round of breath. Front body stretch here in our cow, and then cat, lovely stretch all up and down the spine. And let's return back to neutral, and then let's bring those sit bones down to the mat. Okay, so let's come back to the other side, and we will bring our left leg out and our right knee out to the side. And then we'll take that stretch. So we'll take a twist. Again, we're going to start with our left hand outside of the right knee and a nice stretch here. And bring it back to center. And we'll take the opposite. One more breath here. We're raining out, thinking about that detox. And then back to center, and we'll lengthen out our right leg. And then let's have that motion of drawing forward. So we'll take the heart, come forward, and maybe by now you can go just a little bit further. Again, we've taken breath and time for the connective tissues and muscles, having a moment here. And then let's take that gaze. So we're gonna slightly tuck the chin and then look forward right in between those big toes. And then draw the body back up. We'll shake out those legs. And then come into a child's pose. Now child's pose, we're gonna do with our knees to the wide edge of the mat, and it is such a good posture for our hips, our low back. So I'm gonna take my big toes together and knees to the wide edge of the mat. Now you've got your pillow, or you have your towels, so you could always have that for a pillow for your forehead, or you could stack your fists. So again, I'll show you a few options. So you can take your fists and stack them and then have your forehead rest down. You could have your towel or your pillow and have a nice pillow there, literally, for your forehead. Or you could bring your forehead all the way down to your mat. So big toes are together, knees are to the wide edge, your forehead is coming down to what feels comfortable for you. And we're just gonna let those shoulders relax. Now, anytime you do any forward folds in yoga, it's wonderful for that rest and digest. However, if you are prone to severe depression, you do not want to be in forward folds for any huge length of time. So we're going to be here for a few breaths. Again, you want to let the back relax and let your heart melt towards your mat. And with the knees to the wide edge, it gives just a wonderful opportunity for deep belly breathing.
about expanding through your low back, wonderful stretch for your hips. Take a moment to soften where there's tension. Just kind of smooth out those rough edges. Smooth out the rough edges from your day. And we'll take one more breath here. And then we'll bring weight to the hands and walk ourselves up.
And then we'll come on to our backs, onto our mat. So let's find the center of our mat. And then maybe you want to bring your support with you on either side. And then once you are on your back resting, let's bend the knees and we'll bring our feet just a little wider than hip distance. And then we're just going to take some windshield wipers, the knees to one side and then the knees to the other side. Then we're going to come into a reclined cobbler's pose, reclined butterfly. It's just a great pose to rest the body. So again, let me give you a couple of options here. Now, it may not feel comfortable for you to keep your knees bent for this extended amount of time. So if at any time you would like to just extend your legs and rest your body fully, go ahead and do that. But let's try bringing the soles of our feet together. You can play around with the diamond shape. The closer your heels are to your groin, the deeper of a stretch you're going to receive in your inner thigh area. So you just listen to your body. Maybe you have those further away. Perhaps you have your support resting for the thigh, the outer knee area, and that might feel good for you. Kind of lets the knees and the legs have that full surrender, that full support where you can really just let go versus fighting and kind of having the outer knee relax and the inner thigh pulling up. So again, listen to your body, see what feels comfortable for you if you like that support. Now let's talk about our hands. Maybe your hands are resting on the low belly. Maybe you have one hand resting on your low belly and one hand resting towards your heart. I do like to have the triceps, the back of your arms just resting on your mat. So either way, even if you have one hand resting on your heart, still let your upper arms rest. Another option might be that you have goalpost arms. This is a wonderful chest opener. However, this is a very open pose and it may not feel comfortable for you. So again, find what feels comfortable for your body. Listen to your body. This is time for you to rest. So find that comfort. And then join me in letting your body melt towards your mat. So whatever hand position you've decided, your back is supportive. So we're just going to let the hips relax, the thighs and knees melt towards your mat. We carry a lot of emotion in our hips. And so by taking time to relax, give space to create softness, release tension. Take a moment to notice your back. See if you can settle your back just a little bit more. Softening the knees and thighs. Coming back to the belly, noticing the rise and fall of your belly. Softening extending the muscles in your face, the jaw, your eyes. The muscles in between your eyes. We take so much in our day. Let your eyes have a moment of rest. And then let's go ahead and extend the legs out. If you need to give them some support, extending the legs. And then moving your ankles, your wrists. Let's extend the arms over our head. Nice stretch here, winding down your day. And then we'll bring our feet onto the mat, bending the knees, coming onto your side and making your way up to a seated posture. Again, coming back to those variations of seated posture that we talked about in the beginning, whether that was your knees and your legs going to one side, the legs extended, or perhaps you do have that crossed leg. So again, whatever feels comfortable for you. So again, coming back to my flowers, I really hope that they maybe brought a little smile to your face today. And then I want to share with you this quote from my makeup bag. I like to read it every so often. And I realize that this is talking about a new day. And as we are closing out one day, but tomorrow you can take this thought into the next day. And I do believe that each day is a gift. This is the beginning of a new day. You have been given this day to use as you will. You can waste it or use it for good. What you do today is important because you are exchanging a day of your life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever. In its place is something you have left behind. Let it be something good. I'm glad that we've had this time together. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you would like to join me for more time on your mat, please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to Yoga for the Masses with Susan. And I look forward to having time together again soon. Take care.